Hello friends, you are on the RoboFact. The internet has become an integral part of the lives of billions of people. Social networks, payment systems, online stores, all this exists thanks to the internet. Well, if the world had lost all the opportunities that it gives, let's think about what will happen if the internet disappears. Is it possible at all? Intentionally destroying the internet is very difficult. It will not be possible to destroy any one server, or cut the cable to disconnect the entire world from the internet, if even the whole section is liquidated, for example, by a nuclear explosion or a natural catastrophe. Then other sections will ensure its operation. Magic button disconnection of the internet cannot be, because it does not have a specific center. If it still happens that the internet will disappear, the reason may be a large-scale action of embittered hackers, a global catastrophe, or a decision by politicians to suspend his work, for example, in connection with a terrorist threat. Until recently, people lived well without the internet, but even representatives of this generation today can very painfully perceive the news that the internet is no more, not to mention the younger generation, which has grown in both real and virtual space. And deprived of the internet, children and young people can fall into an unprecedented depression, which will be worse than all depressions. Several years ago, an experiment was conducted to check the degree of the need of children and adolescents to use the internet. A group of volunteers aged 12 to 18 offered to exclude the use of the internet and mobile phones for 8 hours. It was also forbidden to use a computer and television. That is, the children needed to remain alone with themselves, and engaged in music, drawing, walking or reading. It would seem that an inoffensive experiment led to shocking results. Only 3 of 68 participants survived to the end. The majority experienced anxiety and fear. Almost half of the children had nausea, sweating, headaches and other vegetative symptoms. 5 of them had a panic attack, and 3 had suicidal thoughts. Psychologists in the end were in shock. Another similar experiment was conducted with an older audience, students aged 17 to 23. They were banned for 24 hours using the internet, computer, mobile phone and TV. They recorded their feelings in a diary. As a result, half of the participants showed signs of withdrawal syndrome. The same reaction occurs on the cessation of taking certain medications, which in part resembles a breakup. Many said that they suffered. Some felt isolated and helpless. Only 21% of participants noted that they spent this time with benefit. Studies speak for themselves. Depression and emptiness, as if you have taken away something very personal, will persecute many people for a long time. If all the same the internet for some reason disappears, the person will certainly adapt to the new conditions. But for many people, this process can be very painful. It will not be easy for people with a stable internet addiction. They also have a kind of withdrawal, which will have to be experienced. There is a high probability that there will be special clinics that help to survive this condition. The number of suicides cannot be avoided. Even during the survey on the disappearance of the internet, 2% of respondents answered that they would have committed suicide because of this. Today, psychologists equate internet addiction to alcohol and drugs. Think about it. I propose to pass the experiment to you. Try to abandon the internet for a day, a week, a month. How will you feel? Today the world really depends on the internet. The question of what will happen if the internet disappears, gives us not pleasant answers. Use the opportunities that the internet gives us, but try to limit and control yourself so as not to become addicted. People, be free. Friends, your likes and comments inspire me to create new videos. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be very happy, who inspected to the end. Many thanks. So you really liked it. See you.